Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of A to Z. Why do I always start it like that when nobody sees that's how I clap is different? Because every time I edit from the clap forward. I don't know, but I do it, so it is what it is. Hi, I'm Zero, the resident weirdo. Um, so welcome to A to Z, you guys. If you haven't been here before, haven't seen an episode of our podcast, essentially this is me and Aaron Chase. We're a lot alike in a lot of ways from our deep down core, but the world has happened to us, our family, our friends, our experiences, causing us to branch out into hyper extreme versions on a spectrum called positive and negative. See, I represent the yang, the very airy fairy, light and sunshiny, rainbow colored glasses on this side. And Aaron represents the yin, the experiential, the realist, the pessimistic. And somewhere in between us, we conversate and we talk about stuff. And, we come to some conclusions. I don't know. We learned that Aaron's been growing. I don't know. So Aaron's got something he wants to say, and I have a game for us to play if I can get my computer to load. So Aaron, talk to the people.
You remember when George Floyd died and I was angry and you were like, "It's okay, I'm a coon."
Wait, who's George Floyd?
So I remember saying something like, "I'm done with these people. What's the point of, yada, 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 whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop." And I remember you saying, like, well, the only way to get them to understand is to continue to be patient and talk to them calmly, right?
Yeah.
So I was advertising on Omegle, and I run into a fair amount of racism on there.
Really? Okay, see, this is a counter to last episode. You said you ran into a bunch of people who hated Trump, so I figured it was a lot of liberal leaning people.
It's a mixture.
Okay,
you're getting everything, and you're getting everyone across the world for the most part, minus North Korea. So
okay,
so it's a mixture, but there's a fair amount of racism too. Guys, okay. There's a guy with a Nazi helmet on and riot gear. There was, in his room.
You gotta admit, that's a great bit, though.
Yeah.
For Omegle, you just click on and it's just like a Nazi.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, people are doing bits on there. There are dudes that pretend like they're cleavage of a girl, and then they wait for a dude to start jerking, and then they go, "I'm a dude."
I've seen that. I've seen people get fake kidnapped. A whole bunch of stuff.
No, I've never seen the fake kidnapping ones.
It was really well put together.
Okay. Sorry,
but I ran into some Trump supporters, and I was calm. When I do the Omegle stuff, I go into it as I'm just advertising, so none of this matters.
Right.
And immediately they see that I'm black, and they change up the way they're behaving, and they were basically like, "Well, let's argue or let's discuss or whatever." And I was like, "Okay."
Here we go.
And so I was calm. I broke everything down in a way that was reasonable, and they had no argument, so they got mad, and then they skipped me.
So they got mad and they skipped me.
Yeah. And that's happened a few times where they'll be like, "Fucking nigger," and I'll be like, "Okay, do you want to talk about it, I guess?" Yeah, because they expect to win. What's up?
A reaction that will.
They expect a reaction. They don't realize I've grown up in this. I was born in the darkness, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was a man.
You simply heard the word N-word.
Yeah. So
I use it.
But it was so Zero, for you, since you're the positive person here, where's the line? Where's the point where you say these people can't be helped, and we have a bunch of crazy people in this country that need to be exterminated? Am I suggesting white genocide? Maybe.
I'm maybe all the way to. I don't know if I would go as far as extermination, but as far as can't be helped. That's the thing. I think, and it's very meta the way I would describe it. It's I don't necessarily believe they can't be helped. I just believe it would take way more time than I am willing to give to help those people. I think that the people who are hardcore racist could be helped out of being hardcore racist. And I don't mean the kids who are on Omegle or some guy. I mean a hardcore, don't look at me, I'll kill you on sight racist, that guy. I think he can be helped. I just think it's going to take years of therapy and I don't have the time to invest years to convince you otherwise. And so for me, it's like a time thing. So like with a certain amount of racism, I'm willing to work in the 4-hour range. So if you're like a 4-hour racist, I feel like I could make some leeway. I could get you to understand our point of view. I can turn you. But if you're a racist that's like a 4 hours and 2 minutes, you're outside of my wheelhouse. I'm not willing to invest what it would take from my life to explain to you the thing. If you don't get it in the 4 hours, then I don't have the time. It's not that it's impossible. It's not that I can't. It's just that, like, does that make sense?
Sort of. It actually sounds like a calmer version of what I was saying prior of like, fuck these people, we're done. Because 4 hours is not going to solve a lifetime of misinformation and hatred and bigotry. 4 hours, I don't think there is a 4-hour racist. I don't think there is someone who is, at least in this point of life, there is not a person you could find that you could explain this to them in 4 hours and it would click. I don't think you could find that.
But that's the thing is like, and this is where we fall on the spectrum, is you don't believe in a 4-hour racist. I do. And for me, my logic is people also didn't believe we could fly ever. And we learned how to do that. We've made crazy things happen.
I'm going to tear apart your argument, Zero.
Okay.
How long did it take for us to learn how to fly, though?
But then once we knew how to fly, how long does it take me to convince you in 2020 that an airplane is an airplane? Like
what do you mean?
When you talk to a person in 2020, and those kinds of this is Carly in the comments, and those kinds of racists will only be willing to listen to non-racist white people anyway. And, there's a point there. There's a fairness to, like, I am handicapped because of what I am. I don't really believe it. I think somewhere deep in all of us, there is a core of, like, you breathe oxygen, at least. At least I can say you breathe oxygen. And at that point, if I can find a commonality, I can expand from the seed of that.
I would say that obviously we all breathe oxygen, Zero. I cannot refute this.
What? I know. You could technically say someone in a hospital has like fake oxygen.
There you go. You're finding loopholes. But I think that pressure brings out the inner, what someone is on the inside. And I think that COVID and the quarantine brought out a lot of pressure on America in a way that we've never experienced before. And it brought out
something on Facebook, BTW.
Okay. Do you want me to bring it up on the computer?
But don't watch it yet. Just put it up, mute it, pause it.
So I think that this pressure has brought out the inner workings of a lot of people in this country. And I think a lot of people are internally dog shit. I think that half of our country is dog shit in their inner soul. Like they don't like I remember thinking before going into quarantine, this is my little bit of you inside me. This is my little
and he's dead now.
My Jiminy Cricket Zero of like, oh, this is gonna bring people together finally. There's a unifying threat that we all are being affected by. We'll all come together for this. And nope. Half of the country was like, it's not real, and if it is real, it's because the colors made it real, and it wasn't for the color, and they just keep going and going and going. Like, these people, I don't think at this point can be helped. But I'm bringing up your thing now.
Okay. And this is what the podcast is I believe those people can be helped. I believe that to me, it's, yes. Here's how I believe it. I believe it's kind of like you got to go down to go up. Like, I personally believe that you don't start at a point like, oh, this is zero. Like, if it's a chart and zero is like your regular, like your normal, your baseline. And baseline, if you hit zero, you're like not a racist. If you're above zero, you're not a racist. If you're above, then you're like hyper, you're beyond, you're super enlightened or whatever. You see beyond the matrix. If you're below, you're in the negative, right? You're in like, okay, I hate people. I'd rather it be like a 1 where it's like, I just don't feel comfortable around them. Or like a negative 20, which is like, I don't want them touching anything that I have or am next to, or they're trying to kill me by existing.
Yeah.
Whether you're in that spectrum, I think that people try to get the people in the negative to being in the positive, like it's going to be like, oh, they're a -5. So if I just keep pushing them upwards, they're going to go straight up. Like it's going to be like a line bar graph, just straight up into that. It's like, no, I think in order for people to change, there's got to be some pain. There's got to be some like struggle. So I think if you're a -5 and someone's trying to get you above a 0, you have to go down to -10 and then bounce back up to like a -2. And then when you get to -2, you bounce down to -12 to then bounce up to 1. Like it's not a line. It's like the stock market. You go down to go up.
I think I know what you're saying. Like the hero's journey, but for racist people.
Yes. And I think they're on their own personal hero's journey where for them, again, it's like, I think that's one of the problems. Again, here we go with this. It's like, I think one of the major problems is that same thing that happens between like feminism and being a man is that like when the power dynamic is shifted, it's like, it's all the same. It's all the same. You're just using a different thing. So like men to women, the power dynamic is man over woman. And our conversations are as such. When men are making their point to women, women are like, no, you don't understand our point. And like each one goes back and forth like that. Same black to white. Like we know the dynamics, right? I don't have to go through all the different dynamics, straight to gay, all the stuff. But you're not going to convince a man who's been a man that like there's rape culture from a baseline. You have to show him all the rapists and then also go, hey, this is all the stuff I've experienced. Also, here's what you're doing that you don't even notice you're doing. And then the stuff that he doesn't notice he's doing, of course, unless you really hate yourself, like, and are consciously aware of it, who gets told they're a bad person and goes, you got me, like, you got me? No, they're going to fight that. And considering in our society right now, being a racist is one of the worst things you could be socially. Like everyone, even racists, always fight the idea of being a racist.
Okay.
Name me one racist who's full on racist and is
David
like,
Duke.
I am a proud racist.
David Duke.
Who's David Duke?
He's the leader of the Klan.
Cool. So the leader of the Klan owns being a racist. The one guy in the Klan. And but he knows his spot. That's like, it's like, you know your spot. You're the leader.
You said name one. You said name one. So
okay, I guess. Name me one Nazi who's like, I'm a Nazi. Hitler. Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, King Nazi.
I would say, and it's a perspective thing, and I recognize that. I understand what you're saying. That, like, if you're a heterosexual white male and you're fucking 16, you live in Kentucky.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm Millie rocking on any block.
Okay. Did you just win the argument by that one dance?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Gotcha.
Whenever I get done turning someone from a racist into a normal person, that's what I do. And then I immediately lose them, and they're like, no, see, because of that, now I really hate black people.
That's how it works. But I understand it's a perspective thing, but I think my issue with them is, like, can you stop being so selfish for a second? Like, for instance, one of the guys I spoke to yesterday was saying, well, white lives don't matter? And it's like, dude, guys, have you not opened up one of your goddamn history books? When have white lives not mattered? Like, really? And it's this cognitive dissonance. And I think that you've almost given them too much respect in their own intelligence and self-awareness to ever. They're not smart people.
But do you see it? Okay. Outside of you, do you understand if you're the meta that is they're quote unquote they're the racist,
Yes.
You're trying to help them get to not being racist.
No, I'm not anymore.
No, at a point, and
Okay.
at one point in your life, you were trying to help them to not getting racist.
Yes.
Then you gave up.
Yes.
Now you're so anti that you're exactly what they said that you were at the beginning.
Which is what?
Which is you're a black person that wants to exterminate them.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you turned into exactly what they want you to be.
I'm Killmonger. No, I'm to clarify, I'm joking. I don't want them exterminated. Yada yada yada. What I don't care. What's up?
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
Who's that for? Me or the audience?
We have an audience?
There are 2 people in here right now.
Is that an audience, or is this a conversation that's being dominated by us?
That's true. That's fair.
But no, I don't want them to be exterminated. I don't even matter if they exist and are racist. My issue is that they're violent and they're dangerous and they're affecting other people's lives. If we can make it, fuck it, segregation. If we can make an island and put all of these people.
Do you not see it?
I understand what you're saying, but the difference is I don't have control over laws. I'm not hurting people. I'm not out there causing problems. I'm not messing with their identities. I'm not able to do anything to them.
From their perspective, right now, crazy as this sounds, we're the same. This is what I'm seeing from me. The outside of it, this is just neutral. What I'm trying to come in as is like showing the other side of the coin. Your perspective is they're in charge. They're winning. They have all the power. They control the laws. What they think is like you're winning and you're about to be winning. Like if you're in the streets, yes, you get accosted so often, but societally, like as a group, as a unified, are people on your side when you're in the streets, or are they against you? When you put your story on the internet and I was doing stand-up and I said this thing about race, are most people like, that guy? Or are they like, why would they do that? See, America's so bad.
My experience is half. It's split. It is really split down the middle. So the half of the people that fuck with me, awesome. And then the other half that don't, I guess they don't. I understand.
I'm saying from the half that don't, the half that does only sees the half that doesn't. So the half that doesn't only see the half that does. I'm speaking as the people who don't mess with you, who don't rock with you. They only see the people that fully rock with you, that are like, yeah, white man, yeah, we gotta get rid of them, yeah, segregation, yeah, and they're like,
before you keep going, you know I'm joking to some degree, right?
To some degree, I think there's a hint of truth in it. I think, of course, I think you're letting I think the demon is slipping out through jokes. But if it came to, if there was a legitimate law that like we found a way to round them up, and it was like, okay, these people are certified racists in the world of you're not going to convince them in 4 hours. These are certified.
Yeah,
we can make a law that has them stay over there. Would you vote yes on that law or no on that law? No jokes.
No jokes. What can you elaborate on the hypothetical? Like, what do you mean stay over there?
Hypothetically, racists are the new black people still means they're among us. I would say they get relegated to, let's say, Florida. Let's say we took all the racists and we put them all in Florida.
Okay.
That's the bill. And they can leave. They can go to other countries. We're not stopping them from leaving the country, but they do have to stay in Florida.
Oh, so they can't go anywhere else in America. So Florida is its own sovereign nation.
Florida is its own sovereign nation where all the racists live.
Would I vote for that?
Would you vote for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I made my point. then yes, the joke isn't a joke. You want to segregate. You can't take success from me once I've built exactly what I want, forged a legacy, and earned my success. What can you tell me? Anybody, racist or not? I don't know what that means.
I'm a little confused as well. You might want to elaborate, Red Man.
Yeah, that was a comment that I just read.
Yeah, but
trying to take success from somebody. Did we ruin a career, Aaron?
I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and it's gotten to a place where I have to look out, read up.
Oh, hold on, scrolling.
Oh, is there more?
And those kind of race. Nope, it's not in there. Last thing was deep.
I don't understand. I genuinely, I don't know this person, but I don't understand.
We're just not getting the context at which that came from.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's just, it's gotten to a point now where, like...
No, I'm not saying I don't understand how you got there. Totally logical. And for the sake of the show and the fact that, hello, Mom, this is going to be up later.
Yeah.
Aaron is not, it's not that bad. It's like he's been pushed to the point where now it's not, he's mostly joking. It's not like...
The reason I'm in the place I'm at is because I've tried to do what you're saying. I've been patient. I've listened. I've had to apologize for people who do horrible shit. I tell you about
You're the individual version of Black people's struggle in that we tried peaceful protests and then got pushed so far that it turned into the violent protest.
But there's only
because also that got pushed and that wasn't really.
There's only so far you can push a human being before it's like, all right, well, I can't trust you, and you clearly don't have my best interest in heart, and you don't want me to live a happy life. You know what I mean? But it's like, did I tell you about my friend who was he was a cop and he was a Border Patrol agent? Did I tell you about what he did?
It does sound familiar, but go ahead.
Basically, every time a Black man was killed by the cops or some random white dude or Mex whatever with a gun, we would go back and forth on Facebook, and I would debate the same way I debate with you or anybody else. Pretty reasonable, all things considered. Unless I'm angry and I'm just lashing out and giving out that emotion, I'm pretty calm for the most part. So we go back and forth. Every time a Black man is killed by the cops, we go back and forth. The fact that I even have to say that alone, and every time we go back and forth and we go nowhere. George Floyd happens, all the shit breaks out or whatever. I'm posting shit constantly because I'm angry and I don't know what to do because I'm stuck at home, right?
I live on a street where, for some reason, it's like the main street for fire department and ambulances.
It's all good. So I'm going back and forth with this guy for years. And George Floyd happens. Everything blows up. I remember I was on Facebook sharing on my TikTok, saving the world all by myself in the room or whatever dumb shit I was doing.
The world through TikTok, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I was very angry.
In the same place where people are doing the freaking renegade, that's where he's saving the world.
So I'm doing all that, right? And then the Wendy's guy, remember the one that got killed by Wendy's?
Yes.
Okay, so that happens. I post a thing about that. This motherfucker messages me and is like, well, he's actually, this is justified because of such and such thing. And it's like, what? Are you a piece of shit? What is wrong with you? Like, really? I'm going to rant for a second. Here goes Zero. Like, really?
Take your time. I'll be over here.
What the fuck is wrong with you? It was like there's a global pandemic. Another Black man just got murdered unjustifiably. People are protesting. People are dying. There's all of this hullabaloo. You haven't talked to me in at least a year, and this is what you didn't say. I hope you're okay. You didn't say I'm really sorry about George Floyd. I get where your perspective is. You didn't say I understand why they were kneeling before because that was peaceful. You didn't say any of that shit. You again tried to defend why another Black man needs to die. It's like you get to a point where if that guy has to be forced into Florida, fuck him. Good. I hope an alligator bites your dick off. Fuck you. Like, you know what I mean?
you get what I'm saying? No, I absolutely. I 100% understand where you're coming from. As hey, got back. I'm trying to comment, but the word racist is flagged.
What?
Really? Racist is flagged? That's weird.
Wait,
go ahead and type it. What happens when you try to type it? Does it like come up as something else, or does it not show up? It just won't show up.
And if it doesn't work, can you just type R? Because I do want to understand what your comment was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so it just won't come up. Okay, sorry. Anywho, again, it's not. Again, nobody can. I don't. Very few people can say. Here's my olive branch to the few people who might watch this later and be on the opposite side of Aaron. The olive branch I would. This is the terms I sent. LMAO. Okay.
All right, bro.
The olive branch I will extend is that go ahead, just suspend your disbelief. Let's say fairy tale world. Let's just go full crazy. I'm giving all the eggs to you. You're right, and this is all a conspiracy, or like there's all like stuff going on in the government. Let's say that's the case.
Wait. What are you?
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to a hypothetical racist who's watching this.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you? Okay.
Okay, hold on. So I'm extending an olive branch. Let's say Aaron is full crazy. Let's say the entire black community is full crazy. Let's say all of these are justifiable accidents that could happen to anybody, and it just keeps happening to black people. If those are true, the things that you're innately rooting out, if the root of your argument is that all of that stuff is true, if we went to a fantasy world where those things are true and black people are right, how is Aaron supposed to feel? In a world where if the thing he's saying is true, that you could understand his frustration if you understand his baseline. If at a baseline, all the Black Lives Matter stuff is true and there is no collusion and there's just horrible corruption in the government and he's been trying to communicate it as a intellectual, peaceful black man and nobody's allowed him to do that and everything stays bad and it's not getting better and it looks like it's getting worse, what could you expect him to be other than very, very upset? Very, very, very upset. It's like the same thing from your perspective. It in the same way you get frustrated. You get frustrated because from your perspective, it isn't real. And people keep telling you it's real and keep telling you it's bad. And you're trying to make it make sense from a logical point of view. I shouldn't have done that to you. That was really mean to throw up air quotes around logical. But you get what I mean. It's like, from your point of view, that's the truth. And you're yelling at them and you're equally frustrated. I think that's the meta, is both sides are the same. One is just, somebody's trying to find their full truth. Their truth that's so unpoke-a-holeable that it makes the other side come to their side. So on the side of people who are like, Black Lives Matter is a thing that black people are taking on and putting, their proof of that is that like white people get killed by police, is that like accidents happen, that if you look into all of those things, then you'll see that there's lies happening, that it's a news media fiasco and a social justice lie. On the black side, on the Black Lives Do Matter, we try to throw up video evidence. We try to throw up like all the millions of times it's happened, all the historical systemic racism that would cause it to happen. But both sides are dealing with human beings, and there's so much gray area wiggle room that like it's almost impossible to do. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's there. Sorry, there's a comment. Go ahead.
Before I say the comment, Zero, before we read this comment, is the phrase Black Lives Matter morally or ethically wrong?
Morally or ethically?
Yeah.
If read a certain way. If read with a bunch of asterisks around it. If you read Black Lives Matter, and I talked to Dro about this, if you read Black Lives Matter as not Black Lives Matter 2, but Black Lives Matter more, like the asterisk that's left off, it's like depending on what you see the end of that sentence being. I think the people on the opposite side of yours read Black Lives Matter as Black Lives Matter more than others.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now historically, is that the case?
Historically, have Black Lives mattered more?
Yeah.
No, but that's why they're afraid.
Okay, cool, perfect. Okay, so then the second thing is, Who said what? I don't believe Colin Kaepernick said that. I don't think Obama said that. There was no big, LeBron didn't say that. There was no large black figure that was saying Black Lives Matter more. We're going to kill all white people. None of that. All we're asking for is fucking equal reason. Whatever. That's fine.
But Trump never said he's a racist.
I think
it's the same. It's the same. It's the same. It's adding context from actions that you see.
I think that it is not the same in that these people, and to put it bluntly, these are not intelligent, critical thinking people.
I think at that point we're talking about Americans in general.
Yeah, well, Americans in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Americans in general. Oh, yeah, Americans in general. The way we're taught in our school system is not good. But
I fair. That's also fair. Totally fair.
Every time I have a discussion with these people, all I say is, I just say my life matters. I keep it that simple. They cannot accept that. Even when they're like, all lives matter, I say, yeah, I know. And I leave it at that. They refuse to say, yes, Black lives do matter. They won't say it. They can't bring themselves to it because I think deep down they're fucking racist, and it doesn't seem like it's going to change. And
I'm from the school of thought that I don't think that. I just think it's the other side of the argument. And yeah, to say that, it's kind of like, it's like the sound bite of it. It's like, if I say that, it is kind of like, okay, then I'm turning over the cards. I'm admitting to you that that is the case.
That Black people matter?
No, but it's like, in the context of the more than thing, it's like, if I say that, then you're going to take that and go, see, look, you're on my side. Look, see, in the same way that, like, when you say all lives matter, they're like, see, you're on my side. It's them as you.
No, because what I do is what they do is they say, see, you're on my side. And I say, why aren't you on mine then? Why are you against me let's say. We should read his thing. It says, yeah. I will, in quotes, I will be more successful than every generation preceding you type of guy. If it comes to racist people, ignorance can only be pushed so far. Like, I'm more prosperous than you, white man. If I build something so huge, a business or legacy so huge, I don't need to argue. My legacy will outlive your thinking. Racist ideals will not thrive. A lot of us finally have had enough. He sounds more extreme than I am. He sounds like he has
would you like to TLDR that? Because I got like a little bit of it.
I think what he's saying is, regardless of racism, he is stronger and better than those people and will continue to push through and thrive. That's the words. That's how I would put it into words.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I understand that perspective. That's a fair way to fight it, is just to, and I think we've made this argument before. And again, it gets into the systematic part of it, where like Hispanic and Asian people have racism, but they don't have the same kind of racism because of where we both come from. Because like, you notice those communities just go and make their own, and there's no, like, they do, and they just do it, and it's like, oh, okay, now that's your thing.
They don't let us make anything.
But that's the thing. I don't, and this is where I'm with person in the comment, or maybe I'm putting him on my side and he might be on your side. I personally believe that we can do it. We just don't want to do it. Like, we don't. We want to be a part of their thing. Like,
no, they want to be a part of our thing.
No, we want to be a part of their. It's both. I would say it's both. I would say it's both. I think they want to be with us. We want to be with them. And
okay,
because I think that's how much. Go ahead.
I think I have a way to word it.
Okay.
They want to be involved in our culture, and we want to be involved in the system. They want the rap music, they want the clothes, they want the lingo, they want what is cool about our culture, and we want the system. So we want policies and rights and legal things and stuff like that?
I'd go half and half. I'll meet you halfway. I think I can give you most of that. The only problem is like the Oscars exist and Emmys exist and Grammys exist. And we've been for years trying to fight to get into that for some reason. Like we couldn't make our own. We have our own awards and yet we don't care about it. There's a reason that the movement is like support Black businesses, but like we like Walmart too much. Like we like Target too much. It's like, it's not happening.
I get what you're saying. Also, this has gotten depressing. So what game did you want to play?
Depression, shmession. But I guess that's easy for me to say because I'm on the side of like, tomato. So yeah, I guess to side tangent, now that we've done half the episode in the darkness, time for my thing. So you got my video, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm going to edit this in. It is a little long, and I don't know. I might just go ahead and stop it in the first 2 minutes. I haven't watched it yet. Here's my idea. Hi, guys. Welcome to the first inaugural me trying a thing of what I'm going to call punch-ups. Essentially, there's a lot of bad movies in the world. Tons of horrible, horrible movies with horrible dialect, horrible scenes, horrible acting, all of that stuff. We're stand-up comedians. It is our job to make things funny and or better or something along those lines. My idea is that we watch a scene from a bad movie and then give our 2 cents on how we would make that scene better. How you would fix that scene or punch it up or how you would make it. You can make it better in any regard. You can make it funnier. You could make it more serious. You could edit how the person delivers a line. Just whatever your perspective is that would better that scene. And today's episode is a video from the movie Fateful Findings by Neil Breen. It's a great bad movie. Have you ever heard of Neil Breen? Yes. So for those of you that don't know, Neil Breen is one of the titans of bad good movies, like so bad it's good, like The Room. So yeah, so we'll play the clip. And if I keep this in the episode and it's not garbage trash and it doesn't go out the window, I might edit this section out. But we'll play the clip. I'll edit it in so you know what we're watching. And then we'll give our 2 cents. You ready? Okay. So on 3, you're going to play the clip. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's funny, it sounds super sexual over just the live stream of like they can't see it.
Oh my Jesus fucking Christ.
Pause.
Pause?
So that was a whole scene. That was the scene.
What would I do to make that better?
Yeah, what would you do?
Scrap it. No.
What do you mean? There's so much. Do you understand what happened in it? Do you get what was going on?
All right, so he's sick or something, and he passes out. He remembers something that happened to him. Then he flashes back in, and then he passes out again.
Yeah, essentially.
What would...
It took so long for him to pass out the first time.
What
Also, that's not how passing out works. You don't pass out into a flashback and then wake up to pass out again.
What would I do to fix that?
Yeah, what would you do to fix it?
Replace the actor is the first thing.
Okay.
Because okay. Acting, people don't realize acting's hard. It's actually very difficult.
Yeah, it's very hard.
And it's to make something seem real when it's not real is actually really hard. And he's just not good at like presenting himself as if this is reality in any way, shape, or form.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you? And this is this is me personally. do you think his acting could be fixed with editing? Do you think there's anything that the way it's shot and the way it could have been edited could have fixed how bad he was in that scene? Because personally, if I was going to fix my 2 cents, first thing I would fix, besides obviously if you could replace the actor, I agree. I would cut down how long it took. It was like how long it's taking him to pass out, and maybe some filter effects between the flashback. So it's like a stuttering, like as he's doing it, that it's like, it's not his acting, it's the same footage, but it's like a flicker, and then it's like the flashback, and then he passes out. And then I don't cut back to him waking up and then passing out again.
Yeah, that would help. And I think he's I assume the director as well.
He is the director, writer, actor. He's the trifecta, baby.
Of course he is. He's a true Renaissance man. But I think that he is trying to show off his acting prowess. So yeah, cutting that scene faster would probably wouldn't fix it, but it would make it less ridiculous.
So good. Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay. All right. You ready for the next part?
Okay.
All right. Ready? This one's even better to me. I personally, I kind of know this scene, and I love it so much. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm sorry. I let you down.
You didn't let me down.
Oh my God!
Let's try and start over. We both got problems.
I think I'm beyond that now.
I'm going. I'm gonna get some fresh air.
Fine. You go.
I'm not running away.
Okay. The actors.
Is it you think it's the actors?
You
don't think, because here's how I feel. Personally, actors, amazing. They're good. They bring their own shizhus. They make it real, all that stuff. I think that's a director decision. That's a director's problem. I think if there was a good director to go, okay, guys, faster. You're having a conversation. Like you're not like every single line. They're doing one line at a time, like somebody was going to edit it and nobody edited it.
I would say the actors, because that would be. I feel like we could do better in a table read.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've seen.
Not to say we're good actors. It's just that's how bad that scene was.
I've seen shit. Okay, you know what really? Okay, you've seen Breaking Bad, right?
Of course.
You know, in the earlier seasons, they would have. I think the maybe first 2 episodes. They had this shot with Walter White and Skyler, and they're going back and forth, they're talking or whatever, and it's just static. First off, if they had framed it a little better, left out the cheesy music, and let the actors...
I didn't even notice the music. I was so wrapped up in their talking.
I would say I think it's the actors. I think it's the actors and the music. I mean, it's all of it, but...
Yeah, it's all of it, But so your number one thing is you would trade out actors.
In that situation, yeah.
In that situation? So you think good actors would fix the lines of, I'm sorry, I let you down.
Well, if you say it like that, yeah, they could. If you fix it.
Okay, let me see if I can.
What are the lines again?
Let me run it back a little bit.
I bet you I could act it better with you right now if you just tell me the lines.
Yeah, hold on. Let me run it. That's the thing. To run back this scene is also, it takes so long because every line has the longest unnatural pause. Hold on.
try and start over. We both got problems.
Okay, so the lines are,
Okay.
I'm sorry. The girl says, I'm sorry I let you down. She says, I'm sorry I let you down. Then he goes, I didn't let you down. Let's start over. We both got problems. Essentially. I think I am skimping on some of the words, but that's
So,
essentially.
if I'm the female, I'm saying, I'm sorry I let you down. That's it?
Yes.
What is the context?
The context is I don't think she's supposed to be taking the pill that she took. And no. I think this is the couple. I'm thinking of a different one of his bad movies. I think this is the couple that like he wants to have sex with her. They're married. He wants to have sex with her, but she's always busy and something and like can't for some reason. And I think she's apologizing for not being able to have sex with him and like their marriage is bad. And so she's apologizing for how bad their relationship is right now.
Okay.
I think. Again, I'm really trying here.
I would, if I was the actor, I would ask what the subtext is. Like, what does she mean behind all of that? But we're giving too much credit and credence to something that's there's none.
Okay, all right. The actors are gonna switch up in this next scene.
Okay.
Neil Breen is in it, so he is gonna be Neil Breen. But everyone else they're trying. That's what's interesting is like, where do you even find consistently bad across the board with everybody?
Craigslist.
But like, there's other websites for actors. Like, how did you go to you didn't Google like looking for actors first? You went straight to Craigslist. And then said like anybody who will have it. Okay, what time stamp are you at?
151.
Okay, hold on. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Oh no, you're looking very special today.
Get away from me, Jen. You're drunk. And stay there.
This is an interesting choice. Wait, that was it?
That was the scene. These are the top. These scenes. Whoever made this, let's give credit where credit is due. This video is Fateful Findings Best Scenes, uploaded by Green Boots _ on YouTube. These are the best scenes from this movie, and so they didn't put them in order or anything. This is that person's discretion going, this is a scene.
The irony is, in a better filmmaker's hands, whatever this moment was, the way they were going about it was interesting.
Yeah, there's not, like, you can see that. I think, and I watched Red Letter Media and a lot of people who review bad movies. Yeah. And, like, I think the best bad movies, okay, hey, thank you. Okay.
Is that a cat?
It's a cat. And I don't know what she's meowing at. Hold on. Stop it. Anywho. Oh man, we got 8 more minutes. We'll wrap this one up and then we'll make that an episode.
Okay.
So, what was I going to say? I was going to say, I think one of the best things about like the bad movies that are good is that like there's just enough there that you can see the like what he's trying to do.
Right.
Like, you get what he's trying to do. In a bad movie, it's like I have no idea what you're trying to do. But he's just competent enough to like, oh, I know he saw something and tried it, but he didn't take that extra step to figure out like why that works, how that works.
Yeah, he has a vision.
Yes.
I think that's why I can respect people like Neil Breen and Tommy Wiseau, is that there's just so much gumption, so much moxie, so much heart.
Yeah, you love them because they're freaking trying, man.
Yeah.
And like in a weird way, that's better than somebody who's like, I've got ideas, but then never does anything with them.
Why is it that something like this is watchable, where it's bad, but it can still be good, but something like comedy, where you can see what a person's trying to do, but the comedy is bad and it's just not watchable because the comedy.
Do you mean specifically stand-up or like also bad movie comedy?
Stand-up. So if we're comparing the two, there's bad stand-up comic who knows what they're trying to do. They just don't know how to do it.
Okay, so why is that hard to watch?
Why is that something like Neil Green's, you can watch that and be entertained and respect it, but a comedian like that you couldn't do?
Well, I think it's the level at which it's bad, right? So like you've seen a bad cringy comic that's hilarious because it's so cringy it's bad. That's where Neil Breen is. You're thinking of those comics who are like they actually did get good actors and they did try, but it's like the movie's just boring. Like the movie's just bad. Right. And it's like it's not entertaining because it's like there's nothing entertaining about it. The reason this is watchable is because we can see what he's trying to do, but it's funny to see how badly he fails. Much in the same way you could see somebody going up doing like freaking the most cliched try hard comedy, and it's like, I see what you're trying to do, but this is really bad. Like it's really bad.
Okay, well, let's say the classic, when a black comic first starts and you hear a lot of like, white people do this and black people do this, right?
Yeah.
Why is that, for me personally, harder to watch than something like Neil Green?
It's, man, why is that harder to watch? I think, and this is off the top of my head, I think that's harder to watch because it's not so bad it's funny. It's not so bad it's funny. It's just bad enough that it's like if he went the extra mile of bad and they were like they went up and they were clearly very super nervous and they were like, so black people are like,
yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
Like that's got funny in it because it's like, wow, this is bad. But like when they're like genuinely like, hey everybody, like it's like faking the funk. There's something like off about it. And I think it's just the innate nature of us where it's like it's not balanced. That's what I would say it's not balanced. One, it's like the amount of like cringe to like genuinely good. Like, okay, the quality of genuinely good can be like way down here, but it's balanced by how cringe it is, and that makes it funny. Whereas, like, otherwise it can be really good, there's no cringe, really funny. But when they come together, it's just awkward. It's just bad.
I think I get what you're saying.
All right. Well, we got 4 minutes. Did you have any final thoughts? Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't talk about that specific scene. I personally, I'm going to go with, if I had to edit that scene, it would be like, yeah, you don't have to cut away for him to be like drunk spilling stuff over. Just like, and also, again, you got me on the actors thing in that one. In that one, I'm 100% giving you the actor thing because like that was some cartoony drunk acting.
Yeah.
But like if you made it like, I'm going back and forth between how it's shot with like not showing their faces. I'm like, I'd have to see the rest of the context to know.
I like that it was without their faces. I like the intention behind that.
Yeah.
The whole show don't tell, like you have to kind of show a little more, and I really like the idea of that, but the execution was terrible.
Yeah. So, all right, that's that one. But yeah, okay. So you had no final thoughts?
No, I think I'm just gonna meditate and try to be present before I perform tonight.
All right, I believe in you. I'm gonna go check out my own little spot and see if they have a external, like an outlet out there. Because if so, I'm gonna start doing my stuff over there, or I'm gonna have to buy an external battery. Either way, I will also be. It won't be the street. It'll be the same place I do the open mic, but I will also be doing that. There's also an open mic that's like a little bit away from me. I might go do that tonight, but a lot of mites. We'll see how I feel about it. Anyway, that's been our episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around. What was I going to say? Oh, I'm doing the goodbyes. I had to check like what time we had. But I've been Zero Remsen. You can find me at @0_KR Anime on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. You can just search Zero Remsen and you'll find all my stuff. Below me to my right is my man Aaron Chase. You can find him at Aaron Chase 91 on Instagram, on TikTok. We also are on the Buddy System YouTube page. That's where all of our episodes of A to Z go. We do this weekly. And you can watch all the episodes up till now. There's also a lot of other great programming on there, a lot of other great podcasts like BuddyCast, Night Guy and Baldy. Aaron has his own personal podcast, ACMM, where he talks to himself. And you can watch all those things on the Buddy System Comedy YouTube page. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you. And see you later.